Alright, well, today I'm going to do a little machine sampling tutorial here. For those of you who use Maschine, there's a really simple way to do this sampling with this machine. I used to use Reason all the time, and I hated having to use a second-party program in order to get my sampling done with the Dr. Rex. I think Reason is a great program. I just don't like how they have to use Dr. Rex in order to sample. Unless there's some other way that I don't know of. If there is, shoot me a message, because that would be dope. But for me, all my sampling is done in Maschine. So let's do a little, I'll bring in this sample that I created from this new sample pack I'm about to drop called the Keys to Success. It's going to be a bunch of keyboard lines that I played. Let's see here. Where is it? Alright. Desktop. Keys to Success. Roads 1. So here we have it. It's a 79 BPM loop. So right now it just comes in as a wave over here, and I don't want it to be like that, so I gotta change this to sampler. So you click on this little arrow right here, and then you go to sampler. So you have to click on this little thing right here, this little squiggly line thing. I don't know what the hell they call that. But here's the sample right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll go to edit. Say if I want to make this loop quicker, let's go up to like 85. Right. So right now it's at 79. This is what it sounds like. Well, that doesn't sound like anything now, does it? Why is it doing that? Something is off here. Actually, I'm going to start over. Something is going on with this Maschine 3. I'm going to go back to Maschine 2, because this is just like, I don't know what is going on with this program, but I've been having some major issues with this thing where it's not saving beats, and now it's not giving me sound. And let's take a look in here real quick before I do go all out and switch it. Oh my god, that's what it is. Okay. So I gotta go to Universal Audio. Here we go. Never mind. I don't know why that would have changed. I'm going to close that. Now, this should give me some sound. Okay, so that's what it sounds like. I'm not going to keep playing it. But we're going to go back over here to internal and change this to sampler. If the wave ever pops up over here on this, you just know you have to click on this, go to internal, and then change it to sampler. So now you can click on this little squiggly line here, and your wave's going to pop up. So now, if we want to make this thing faster, let's say we put it up to 87, or right there. Boom, 87. I'm going to make this thing faster now. So you click on stretch, which is your time stretch. So if you look down here, your SRC BPM is 79 and your new BPM is 87. the length of the loop is 4 bars. You got to kind of make sure you look at that too, because if it's 8 bars, it's going to slow it down or chop it kind of funny. So you just have to make sure you know how long the loop is, and just make sure it matches up. So if you want to change the tune, like, okay, I'm gonna I'm putting it up to 87 BPM, and then I'm gonna tune it up 7. Let's just go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's gonna sound a lot higher now. So now you just hit apply, boom. So now it's way higher and it's faster. So now it's on this pad over here that I'm hitting. It's just on a single pad for now. Okay, so now when you want to get it on all 16 pads or 8 pads or 4 pads, you go to slice. Just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just doing it on the screen so you guys can see, because usually I use this thing over here and I do all my cropping of the loop, the truncating, whatever, right here on the machine. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to just do it here. So you hit on slice, and then you go to your mode right here, and then you can change it to grid, split, detect. Detect just basically detects any of the transients, and it'll make a chop there for you. You can pull back the sensitivity of it. So let's give it an example of that, like boom. So now we have all these little weird chops here. So you're like, okay, I can push up the sensitivity and it'll make more. That's 100%. Or you can pull it back, like let's go like 30% or whatever. Boom. So that's usually not how I like to chop it, but sometimes it's fun to do that because it'll give you a bunch of random chops and you can kind of just play with the keys, make up some cool little different pattern with your thing. But usually, so what I'll do is I'll put it on split, and then you got all your slices right here. So if I want it on 16 pads, I just put it to 16. So it's that easy, and then you just hit apply. Boom. Now you got 16 chops here. So what you can do, if you want to play it and just make the pattern a little different, you can erase that pattern, and then you can go. Okay, so you get the gist. So there's a little extra thing that you have to do though. Once it gets on the 16 pads, if you push the pad once and then you try to hit the pad right after it, it's going to keep playing if it's on polyphony 8. So what you want to do is you want to either change it to 1 or legato. So if you change it to 1 or legato, when you hit the other pad, it's going to cut the other one off so the sample doesn't keep playing through it. So I'll just hit. I usually go on a legato. I don't know why, but 1 does pretty much the same thing. So we'll just go on 1, and then see how it cuts it off. So now if I'm like, I feel like that's too many chops, you can go back to this guy right here, and then you can just change it to 8 chops. Like, all right, cool. This will actually be a little bit easier for you to hear the difference with the polyphony. So hit apply, okay. Now you can erase this shit. See how it keeps playing over each other? Now if you go to like legato or 1, it cuts when you hit one pad and you hit the other one right after, it cuts it off. That's how I do it. So that's kind of like cut in half there too. So I'm just kind of playing it. I'm playing it kind of like double time here. The real sample would be. So if you like that, you can just like hit record, hold shift on the machine, and then press record, and it'll give you a 4 count. Different chop than what I played it as. So now you can do some other cool shit too. Like you go to like the pitch envelope here and you're like, okay, I want that to play halftime. So you pulled back 6, -6 on this one, and that's half speed of what I just played it as. So you can start to really manipulate the samples with this thing. So let's play it now at half speed. Actually, this is quarter speed. See, it starts getting pretty trippy. Or like, cool, I like that. Now you can even do it in reverse, or hit reverse here. So that's quarter speed. So now if you bring it back to 12, then that's going to be a full half speed. All right, boom. Go back to 12. You can really start just manipulating samples. Like I always try to, whenever I bring in a sample, I try to just manipulate it as much as possible so it doesn't get recognized. Don't want to get sued out here. That's pretty fire. Okay, so now, you know, for the sake of the tutorial, let's bring in a little bit of drums. Let's go down to this little splice kit right here. There's this one in here I like for boom bap shit. Iconic drums. Iconic hip hop drums, volume 7. It's kind of a fire one. Kind of like that kick right there. Boom. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th kick down. That's kind of sick too. Let's try that one. Let's go get me a snare. get that one. So right now the sample's pretty tweaked out. Wait, did I get rid of the reverse? No, the reverse is still on. So we're at half speed, chopped up, reversed, and now we're about to add a little bit of a drum kit to it just to give it a little bit of a beat for the tutorial. Now I'm just going to play it on the drum pads here. So you just make a pattern. You pull the length up to 4. As you can see, you can go make these really quick on this program. So, you know, if I wasn't teaching you guys the way to do this throughout this tutorial, it would have been done already. So, shift, record. Just for shits and giggles. Let's see what we got here. There's just one bass I've been liking out of this one. Bass. So right now I don't know what key I'm in because I kind of manipulated the sample. So what we can do, there's this program that I like to use. It's called Mixed In Key. You just open it up while the beat is playing and then hit listen. It'll listen to anything that you're playing on your computer, and it'll tell you what key it's in and the tempo. So let's play it. And then open up Mixed In Key and then you hit listen. Piano. That's another way I can find the key. Usually that thing works every time. I don't know why it's bugged out for my tutorial. It's kind of annoying, but oh well. It's an F sharp. Stacking loops. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I want like a violin in it or something. I'll just pull up another pattern, boom, on another track. Find me a good violin. Where we got violins at? Where you at? I know they're around here somewhere. Where the fuck did you go? Alright, we'll use this viola. Let's make this viola a little more dirty. It's one of my go-to dirt plugins right here, this rabbit tape. Alright, so you can put this wow on. This wow is kind of wow. Let's give it a little bit of reverb now too. This is one of my go-to reverbs. This Crystalline by Baby Audio. Shit is fire. My tutorial yesterday was in Pro Tools about side chaining. So I guess we could go over to side chaining in Maschine as well. So what I'll do is I'll find my bass. And it's right here. I'll label it so I know where I'm at. Bass. And then here's the drums. So I'll label this drums. Boom. So now this is the kick. It's called Iconic Kick 309. So what I'll do is I'll go to my bass and then I'll add like a compressor, like I'll use the one that I was using yesterday. So I'll go to solid bus compress, solid bus comp, and then it just has this little sidechain input here. So you click on sidechain input and then it says source none. So right now what I got to do is I got to find my kick. So I click on this, and then I go, oh, here it is, deep punchy. Pretty sure that's what it is. So click on that, and now the thing is side chained. So what you do is you bring up your compressor now, and I'll just I'll mute everything else so you can hear what's happening here. So I'll play it for now. So every time the kick happens, the compressor reacts. So the compressor is going to be ducking the bass every time the kick happens. So it makes room for the kick to come through because that's where all your punch is going to be coming from. So your threshold is basically just going to show you how much we're going to be shaving off of the bass. So right now we're getting like 3 dB, which is actually my sweet spot. But for the sake of the tutorial, we'll just get drastic with it. So as you can hear the bass duck when the kick happens. It goes. So I don't want it to be ducking that much. So what I'm going to do is I'll go super drastic all the way to the left, and then I'll play this, and then I'll start moving the threshold back to find my sweet spot. So I'm going to be looking for like 3 dB. So here's 4 dB. That's minus 4 dB. That was kind of confusing to me in the beginning, all the minuses and all this, but it's actually, you get what it means after a bit. So I'm going to play this. So right now I'm getting almost 20 dB of gain reduction. So I'm going to pull this threshold back. So I'm all the way back. So obviously I need to pull back on the ratio now. The ratio is just going to give you, if you go lower on it, you're going to get less compression. So let's see where we're at now. There, that's pretty perfect. But you know what? You got to mess with the attack and release too. So you kind of just, right now, this is the attack. I call this cross eyes. It's a Dr. Dre technique. So it lets the drums punch through. You get the slowest attack and the fastest release. So it lets the main transient punch through, and then it catches it. So right now we're on the cross eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mess with the attack and release a little bit. I'm kind of in the sweet spot right now, but let's see where we can get this. As you can see, it's getting more punchy. That's pretty fire right there. So now you can give yourself a little bit of makeup gain to make up for the ducking. Give yourself a little bit of parallel compression with this dry and wet knob here. So boom, pull this back a little bit, you're bringing back some of the dry signal. That's it. So it's pretty straightforward. This video is going to be up on my YouTube page. So if you need to go over it, you can rewind and go back to the beginning and watch me do it the whole way through. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. I'm out. Peace.